And welcome back to Sports Check this Monday morning, the 24th day of February 2025. Well, at the moment we know we'll be joining our team that is in Parliament as the Cabinet Secretary for Information Communications and the Digital Economy. The Honourable William Kapogo is meeting with the Parliamentary Committee. We shall be joining them when at that point comes. But we get into our second conversation on Sports Check. It's about a sport that is hybridized, so to speak. Foot volley, think of it. It's in every sense identical to beach volleyball, but we play with your feet. And we've got Masi Mwasa, who got into the sport, and her story is a bit interesting. She got into another sport where Kenyans now have started getting into it. Masi, a very good morning to you.
And good morning to you too, sir.
You started off in kabaddi.
That is right.
Now foot volleyball.
Now foot volley.
What was your kabaddi experience and why you had to move away from the sport?
All right.
That's, you know, to be honest, has given a lot of Kenyans a lot of opportunities to play, especially in India.
My experience at kabaddi has everything to do with why and how I am here today. I started off as a player in 2016, part of the Kenya women's team, national team. And at 2019, 3 years later, I was a coach and the founder of kabaddi in Machakos County. And then we've managed to develop kabaddi with a very, very able team. And at 2021, I was part of the management at the national level. And then 2 years later, I now transitioned to foot volley because kabaddi had gotten to a place that you wanted it to be. So,
foot volley, yes. What drew you to the sport?
It was quite interesting seeing footballers play football on a volleyball court. That's how I saw it. And then I came to understand it's just a wool sport on its own, because I thought first maybe they're just training or it was something to do with, I never thought it was something official. So when I was overwhelmed by the idea of it all, and then I decided, let me just check it out and see what is all this about. And then doing my research, I realized it's a very big sport in the European countries. And then I did another research to realize there's no football in Kenya. And that is where I got the niche to just focus now on football.
You know, this football, I mean, looking at the pictures that we have, people, you know, kicking over that, how different is it from a sport that is very big, I think, Indonesia, Malaysia. It's called sepak.
Yes.
So how different is it?
Actually, I haven't gotten details about sepak, but it is pretty much the same. It's just, there are definitely key differences. But now, with foot volley, the regulations and everything all coming from Brazil and all that. And so I'm not sure about the Indonesian.
Okay, well, first of all, I would say the ball is different. Because I think sepak uses,
right.
It's about an oversized, I mean, about the size of a handball. But you use a standard football here.
It's 55 size.
Wow. Number 5, that's what they would use in the league.
That is right.
So just take us through, first of all, the dimensions of this court that you play on.
The court has to be 8 meters by 8 meters on one side of the court and 8 meters by 8 meters on the other side of the court. So the entire space is 16 meters by 8 meters. Divided in the middle, no midline. This means if a player needs to pick a ball or fetch a ball that is about to land on the other court under the net, you may pick it and keep the ball at play. Beyond the size, it's also the players have to be two players per team, and no substitutions.
That's everything beach volleyball.
That is everything. Beach foot volley, actually.
Yes, I'm saying, but identical to the rules.
Yes, beach volleyball.
Okay, take us through the rules now. Number of touches, plays, scoring.
First off, the ball is served on a hill. You create a hill on the sand and then kick the ball to serve the ball. And the opponents will receive the ball, pass the ball, and set the ball. Just the basic 3 touches that happen in volleyball. And with the third touch, that is where you attack, depending on how now you want to place the ball according to your skills and how you've advanced in understanding the game.
Let's now, one thing you haven't mentioned, how high is the net?
The net is 2.2 meters and 2 meters for women. Yes.
2.2 meters for the
for men.
2 meters for women.
Yes.
So take us through now the scoring and other, things that everyone should know, violations of the laws of the game and that.
The scoring is done pretty much like in volleyball. What you do, there has to be 2 sets. Each set, should Team A win 2 sets, they win the match. Should Team B win the second match, we have to have a third match to make
A third set, yes.
a third set rather. And the scoring system is each set goes up to 18 points. And should the 2 teams have 17 ups, the score difference has to be 2. So you go ahead and finish the set at 19. Yeah.
Difference of 2.
Difference of 2.
Other rule violations that people should know.
That would be, you can play the ball even if it is outside the court and the ball is still at play. You can go beyond the lines, the end lines on the court, and you should not touch the net, of course. And that is pretty much it, actually.
Well, a very interesting sport. Now, the other thing is, what kind of sand do you use? Because we know your last event was in Nyali, so that
is right.
we know that would be white. Those would be white sands, and because we've seen beach volleyball played anywhere, even landlocked countries that don't have beaches or anything, they still play. They still have beach volleyball. What kind of sand do you use?
We play on the beaches, of course, but then in areas where we've also developed foot volley, and we didn't have the sand beach. We have improvised with river sand, sieving it, making it fine, and creating our courts.
Which one do you use? Is it the
It has to be fine, very, very fine, because it has to have the beach effects. You see, the sand on the beach is quite fine and a bit heavier than the river sand. So we do a lot of sieving. There's a whole structure that has to be followed when it comes to making the courts.
Okay, well, there you've had it from Masi, and she is, behind foot volley in Kenya. Just over a week ago, you had a league event in Nyali.
Yes.
So you'll be telling us about that, because we'd like to take a break at this point, and we'll come back and continue that conversation and what else they're doing, because one of the things about this sport is it works all around natural environments. What are they doing to make sure that the environment they play in is clean and safe? Coming up after this short break, our sign language interpreter this hour has been Lensa Odingo. We continue the conversation, and let me introduce my sign language interpreter at this point, Brian Muraro. He is bottom right of your screen. Conversation about developing football in the country, and we're with Masi Mwasa. She got into the sport, founded it, and is now running it. It's active, and just about 8 days ago, they had a league event in Nyali. And Masi,
Yes,
just give us, the whole effect when you saw the foot volleyballers out there down at the coast, and you had that event.
The event at Nyali was the first tournament of the year, where it was also a continuation of a circuit that we started last year. Our first event happened in Machakos, and the Nyali one was the second one. We intend to keep up with the circuit so that we can keep all the players that have been training to keep them active and having something to look forward to throughout the year. But besides that, we also have other major tournaments that now we are looking forward to having.
Tell us about these tournaments.
First off, we are working so hard towards having foot volley be part of the Kenya beach games, because of course it is a beach sport. And also we also have a major tournament in July. This is now an international tournament that we are hosting with the partnership with Association Foot Volley for All, an organization that saw what we were doing with foot volley here in Kenya, and they were very much interested in supporting us through infrastructure, the balls, the equipments, everything that we need for foot volley. And now, so these are part of the reason they are part of the reason we have in the tournament in July.
You have an and projects about conserving the environment.
That
Tell
is
us
right.
about that.
The Clean Beach Initiative, we came about that with regards to first keeping the space that we're playing in clean, and also it's just another way also giving back to the community for the projects that we're doing, and also it's also a project for us to raise finances and funds should our team need to travel overseas for events. Yeah.
Impact so far?
So far so good. I mean,
of the Clean Beach initiative.
The initiative has been received quite well because we actually launched it over the weekend alongside the event, and the impact has been quite massive in a way I didn't actually expect, because I've come to realize there are so many people who are interested in matters conserving the environment and all that. Mm-hmm. So the conversation has been actually well received, and it has been received well, more than what I expected or even thought, because a few posts on LinkedIn received quite the impression on so many people.
Okay, next big event, which date?
On 10th to 16th July 2025. Yes, this is the international tournament. We are going to have 3 days of camp in Machakos, training, and now 1 day travel to the coast, and 3 days event at Nyali Beach again.
Well, beach sport, have fun. Actually, for Watuabara kama sisi, that's the best time to travel down to the coast when it's not extremely hot, isn't it?
That is right.
Yes, the temperatures are cooler and we can enjoy that. Thank you very much. Mercy Mwasa founded beach volleyball here in the country. So we'll be moving on to another conversation, and this one is interesting because it's all about